Alright, today on the farm, me and my little brother are setting the linear back up. It just finished watering 80 acres of alfalfa in just a few days. So we've walked it back across the field and we will hook it back up. We use the telehandler. This is the telehandler. My little brother's driving it. Has the hay fork still on right there. We use it a lot to move bales, but we also use it for a lot of different things on the farm, and this being one of them. I like it just because the extension right there, he can suck that in and do a lot of maneuvering with it, so it's awesome. This hose is extremely heavy, and we have to drag it across the field, and it hooks up to the machine itself, the sprinkling system, and we hook it to a riser and opener where we fill it with water. So he'll unhook one end right here and leave it, and then I'll hook it to the opener. And then he'll drag the other end to the linear itself and hook it up. The great thing about linears is you don't miss any corners of the field. You've seen pivots, they make a circle. The sprinkling system itself makes a circle, but it leaves the corners, so you can't farm those. This you hit every piece of land that you've got that's in a square or rectangle. The only downfall to it is this process right here. We've got to drag this hose with the linear because that's how it gets its supply of water. So it's kind of a pain because you've got to be there every day or every other day to move it to the next riser. And for example, like on this 80-acre field, we've got 4 different setups, and so it'll walk with the hose and drag it, and then it gets to a point where we'll pound a stake in the ground so it stops. It stops automatically so that it doesn't yank the hose off the riser or something. But we've got to be there to drag it to the next one and hook it up. So this is the power source that we've got that it also drags. This cord is heavy, and we've got to drag it to the next outlet. And you physically cannot drag it just by walking with it, the whole cord. So we hook it to a 4-wheeler and drag it. And these power boxes are actually extremely dangerous. This is 3-phase power, and the size of that cord, you saw it. It's big and heavy. And we make sure that the power's always off when you're dealing with it.
Did I pull it too far over there?
You didn't pull it far enough. Well, when you go back, we're just walking the machine as close to the edge of the field as we can right now before we hook it up, because once it's hooked up, you can't walk it backwards. So we're just getting as close as we can. It's got these guide wheels and arms. Tanner's going to lift it and move it right here. That's how it adjusts itself. So we actually have a track that follows the field, and these wheels and arms are on both ends of this cart. And so the guide arm stays in that track, and that's how the machine knows how to walk in a straight line. And if it gets out of the track, it'll actually shut itself off. I've got to hook the end of the hose up right here. I kind of look like a fool because it took me forever. It normally takes me half as long, but I had it backwards. And so you're going to watch me just suffer through the whole thing right here. And that hose is heavy, actually. It is a heavy bugger. And just to maneuver everything. And my dad always gets mad at me because I never wear gloves. But they're just kind of a pain. And there's just a lot of things. You can't undo chains very well with gloves on and different things. And there's little hooks on here right here that are just a pain, and I should wear gloves because there are cables and that hold everything together right here, and they've got little splinters on them. I've cut my hands multiple times, but I'm just not a glove fan, so I don't wear them. So right here, I'm going to open the riser, and you do it really slow to fill it right, and you just don't want to blow anything. So once I get everything hooked up, I'll open it and fill the hose. You're gonna watch me make sure that he's ready down at the other end. And we fill her up, make sure all the kinks are out. I realized that I had it upside down right here, so I'm gonna flip it around real quick. Then I can hook everything in and fill her up. All right, then we just make sure everything's kosher. This is straight, so there's no kinks. On each end of the hose is this green hose. It's flexible, and that helps it so we can hook it up to the risers, the openers, and then the linear itself with ease. Fill it up. We just like linears and pivots because they're very efficient. They conserve water. Our fields look a lot more uniform. You'll see right here the water starting to come out, and that is how it waters the field. And this machine just walks forward. Every couple minutes it just rolls forward. Then I'm going to pound a stake right here, and 12 feet from the furrow, this is where the linear will stop, and so we can drag the hose to the next opener. So this just ensures that it stops.